why we chase validation, the psychology behind wanting everyone's approval. Have you ever changed who you are just so someone would stay? Maybe you've over-explained yourself after sending a simple text. Maybe you've worked harder than everyone else, hoping someone would finally notice. Or maybe you've spent years trying to prove your worth to people who never intended to appreciate it. Here's the painful truth. The more desperately you chase validation, the further it seems to move away. But why? Why do intelligent, kind, successful people still crave approval from strangers, partners, parents, and even people who have already rejected them? The answer has very little to do with confidence, and almost everything to do with how your brain learned what love meant. Let's talk about it. Imagine a little girl who proudly runs to her father with a drawing she spent hours making. She smiles. She waits. But instead of hearing, "I'm proud of you," he barely looks up from his phone. Maybe he says, "That's nice." Maybe he criticizes it. Maybe he ignores it altogether. To everyone else, it looks like a tiny moment. To her nervous system, it's a lesson that whispers, "If I want love, I have to earn it." Children don't question whether they're lovable. They question whether they're enough. And that's where validation begins. Not as vanity, but as survival. Psychologists have long understood something fascinating. Human beings aren't born needing applause. We're born needing connection. As babies, our survival literally depends on caregivers responding to our needs. When someone smiles back, comforts us, or celebrates us, our brain learns, "I matter." But when affection becomes conditional, when love only comes after good grades, good behavior, achievement, or sacrifice, the brain creates a dangerous equation. My value equals other people's approval. From that moment on, validation stops being enjoyable. It becomes necessary. Fast forward 20 years. Now you're in a relationship. Your partner takes 3 hours to reply. Immediately your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Are they losing interest? Maybe I should send another message. Notice something. The anxiety isn't actually about the text. It's about what silence means. To someone with secure self-worth, silence means they're probably busy. To someone who learned conditional love, silence feels like rejection. The same event. Two completely different emotional experiences. Because we're never reacting only to the present. We're reacting to every similar feeling our brain remembers. Validation also explains something many people never understand. Why compliments never seem to last. Have you noticed that? Someone tells you you're beautiful. You feel amazing for about 10 minutes. Then the feeling disappears. So you post another picture. Seek another compliment. Need another reassurance. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. External validation is temporary because it doesn't change the story you secretly believe about yourself. If deep down you think you're unworthy, every compliment feels borrowed, never owned. This is why social media can become emotionally addictive. Every like, every comment, every follow releases tiny amounts of dopamine. The brain loves prediction and reward. Sometimes a post performs well. Sometimes it doesn't. That unpredictability keeps people checking over and over. It's the same psychological principle used in slot machines. Except instead of gambling for money, We're gambling for significance without realizing it. Our self-esteem becomes connected to numbers on a screen. Validation isn't only about appearance. Some people chase it through success. They become perfectionists, overachievers, workaholics. They tell themselves, if I become successful enough, rich enough, helpful enough, perfect enough, then people will finally see my value. But here's the tragedy. Every achievement creates only temporary relief. Soon another goal appears. Another promotion. Another degree. Another milestone. Because the real wound was never about success. It was about worthiness. Relationships often expose this pattern the most. Have you ever noticed someone staying with a partner who gives them almost nothing emotionally? Yet they fight harder than ever to make the relationship work. Why? Because inconsistent affection is incredibly powerful. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes the partner is loving. Sometimes they're cold. Sometimes affectionate. Sometimes distant. The unpredictability creates emotional addiction. Your brain starts believing, if I just try harder, I'll get the loving version back. Eventually, you're no longer chasing love. You're chasing relief. Here's a story. Imagine two employees. Both receive positive performance reviews. The first smiles, says thank you, and goes back to work. The second immediately asks, are you sure? Is there anything I could improve? What did I do wrong? Why? Because praise feels unfamiliar. Criticism feels normal. When your identity has been built around proving yourself, acceptance can actually feel uncomfortable. Your nervous system trusts what it's used to, even if what it's used to is pain. Validation also explains why rejection hurts so deeply. Most people think rejection is painful because someone didn't choose them. That's only part of the story. The deeper pain is what rejection seems to confirm. I'm not enough. I'll always be abandoned. I'm unlovable. The event lasts minutes. The meaning can last years. That's why healing isn't about avoiding rejection. It's about changing what rejection means. Here's something worth thinking about. People who constantly seek validation often become experts at reading everyone else's emotions. But strangers to their own, they know exactly what everyone wants, how everyone feels, how everyone might react. But when someone asks, what do you want? They don't know. Because they've spent their whole lives becoming whoever earned approval, instead of discovering who they actually are. Real confidence looks very different from what social media teaches. Confidence isn't believing everyone will like you. Confidence is accepting that not everyone has to. Confidence isn't never feeling insecure. It's refusing to let insecurity make your decisions. It's being able to disappoint someone without believing you've become a disappointment. So how do we stop chasing validation? Not by pretending we don't care. Humans will always appreciate encouragement. The goal isn't becoming emotionally numb. The goal is changing where your identity comes from. Start noticing when you're asking questions like, do they approve of me? Replace them with, do I approve of how I showed up today? Instead of asking, do they like me? Ask, do I actually like who I become around them? Instead of earning love, practice receiving it without proving anything first. Healing doesn't happen the first time someone validates you. Healing begins the first time you validate yourself, even when nobody else does. The first time you say no without explaining. The first time you leave a relationship that constantly makes you question your worth. The first time you stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. Because eventually you realize something profound. People's opinions are reflections of their experiences, not measurements of your value. The irony is almost poetic. The moment you stop desperately seeking validation, you become more authentic, more peaceful, more attractive. Not because everyone suddenly approves of you, but because your identity is no longer for sale. And maybe that's what freedom really is. Not hearing applause, but no longer needing it to know who you are. If this video resonated with you, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And before you go, think about this. If nobody applauded your choices tomorrow, would you still make the same decisions today? I'll see you in the next episode.